right. So I'll start it off. This is the May 12th, 2021 Environmental Sustainability Committee for the Village of Gurnee. And roll call, please, Jack.
Sure. Lazarus?
Here.
Osa?
Here.
Hood?
Here.
3 here.
Is present. So we have public comments and any public on that I can't see?
No public.
No public. So the new business is the approval of the April 14th, 2021 meeting minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look at those?
Point of clarification, so we don't have those ready yet. So the video
Okay.
had some issues with it. I'll get those for our next meeting instead. So we'll table.
Okay. Table that. Okay. On for the discussion items. My resignation and the appointment of a new chair. And I think I recall from last meeting that Shelley Wiley, or Rick could say Shelley's name. So
Shelley beat me at hot potato.
that's correct. So the question is, Rick, are you willing and able to
I am
serve?
willing.
Okay.
I am willing, able.
So I guess there would be a motion to appoint Rick as the new chair. Is there a motion?
I move.
Yes, I second. And roll calls, Jack?
Lazarus?
Yes.
Osa?
Yes.
Hood?
Yes. All right, Rick, it's your meeting.
Bye, Tom.
Hooray.
I'll let-
It's been good. I didn't prepare an agenda.
Oh, it's okay. I got it here, Rick. I can help.
Super.
I can help guide through with it. So we have our environmental sustainability strategic planning. And so the item we have on this one is our environmental sustainability survey discussion. So I don't know if everyone saw, Rick just sent it out a few minutes ago. So we have kind of our draft.
Let me look.
Rick, maybe if you have it up, would you want to?
Yeah, I can just share screen. Shoot. Okay. So I just, with Jack's considerable help, kind of streamlined it and focused it a little better. So if you want, I can just walk you through it. The launch page now is just basically, are you a resident or something else? Either someone who works in Gurnee or perhaps is a service provider to the village. And then depending on what the answer is, they're directed to either the resident or the non-resident tab. You can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay. So on the resident screen, get some idea of how long they've lived in Gurnee, whether they're located east or west of I-94, whether their family owns or rents, what their transportation modes are, and then getting into what environmental sustainability or issues are of importance to them. We stop me if you think of anything else, because it's hard to think of them all. So we've got traffic congestion, air quality, recycling, water quality, and we did include stormwater management and flood control in there, because that is always important in Gurnee. Light pollution, energy efficiency, litter, noise, and other. Did we miss anything?
Not that I know.
Just looking at it right now, it looks
You'll-
good.
Okay, you'll think of something the minute we hang
Yeah.
up. But we tried. And there are some things that we intentionally didn't include because they just aren't real important to the village and the residents. Then we've got this one on line 43. Compared with other civic needs, how important is living in an environmentally sustainable community to you? Just, should this be front and center, or is this, kind of, between things like taxes and, well, I guess death and taxes, where does environmental sustainability lie? And so I think that'll be of quite a bit of interest to us all. Then on the non-resident tab, it's pretty much the same thing, with a few differences. Instead of living in Gurnee, how long have you worked or otherwise been associated with the village? And what's their relationship? We figure a lot of the folks that respond in this category probably work in Gurnee. Some might go to school in Gurnee and live elsewhere. Some provide services to the village. And I had that they owned or managed some kind of commercial enterprise, but Jack convinced me that anyone that owns a place in Gurnee probably lives elsewhere. So, but can you think of any other categories that would be valuable to have in there? Work, go to school, provide services to the village.
Yeah,
Or, well, and I guess with other, they can write it in.
yeah, I don't know if that one's needed, to provide services. I think that's a pretty obscure one. I think either they work in Gurnee or go to school in Gurnee, or they live in Gurnee would be my guess.
Okay.
Or yeah, other, I'd say. And then they could say, that they're taking it, they don't live in Gurnee, they don't work here, they're just
Yeah.
interested in
And
the survey.
yeah, and one of the things that we really want to do is make sure it doesn't take more than 5 minutes to fill this out. I just did another online survey yesterday and it took 8 minutes, and God, it just seemed like so long. Okay. And then the same questions about modes of transportation, what their aspects of environmental sustainability are most important to them, and how important environment is to them overall. And then just ending with a thanks, and G, if you want to get involved or be kept aware of the committee's progress, give us your contact information. So I think it's in pretty good shape.
Mhm.
Maybe wait a few days to see if anyone thinks of anything else, but then I think it's probably ready to go ahead and put together the survey. Which begs the question of how do we distribute it or ask people to fill it out, and I'll entertain any suggestions there.
What do you think, Jack? I'm not sure what the way to distribute it would be.
Yeah, we talked about, so I think what we'll do is we'll get it on our SurveyMonkey account so that people can just take it digitally. And then we could share it, I think, through social media, and, anyone who does a little bit of surveying, they know that, if you just post it out there, it's not always the best control of getting, it's not a representative survey in a way, just because the people who are responding to it are, interested in the topic or have something vested. It's not random, basically. But the benefit is we can get a lot more responses. And I think at this point, if I kind of read our goals well enough, we're just looking to get responses and get some data to work with and just kind of see what our residents are interested in, passionate about, and kind of get a little bit more of a pulse of the community.
So this would go up on the village website?
Yep, we'd also put it on the village website. I'd probably put it in, we do our weekly announcements newsletter. So we send out a weekly newsletter, Facebook, social media, and we can put it out there everywhere just to get some feedback on it.
Yeah.
Well,
And Tom, I'll just note that Daisy has joined us. Greetings.
Hi, sorry, I had a doctor's appointment, so I was running late.
All right. As kind of a side note, Daisy, one thing you did miss, we were discussing a little bit about appointments. And it looks like, and I think what we're looking at for that, so originally we said May 17th, but now we're pushing it back. I know there's a couple of boards that they're getting appointments for. So it's looking like probably June 7th is my understanding of when the actual appointments will take place.
That's correct.
All right, thank you for the update.
So I guess more, Rick, for the survey. I mean, I think as long as everyone's okay with us putting it everywhere, we can get it out, push it out to residents. And then especially if we get it out in the next, I don't know, it shouldn't take me too long to get on SurveyMonkey, but I haven't done one with Logic for a little while, you know, where there's different surveys, you know, if you choose, you know, who you are. So that might take me a little bit, but I should figure it out again pretty quick. It's just been a few years since I did one. So if we got it out in the next week or so, and then could get a couple weeks worth of data and discuss in June, as we kind of start to work on putting together our initiatives for the metrics of the greenest region, I think we'll be in good shape.
Is there a way to get it to the schools before they vamoose for the summer? Just a direct link, I don't know, through your committee, perhaps through the teachers, or they could disseminate it to students if they're interested in filling it out?
We have a weekly newsletter for our school, and then we also have weekly announcements as well. So I could like email the person in charge of that and ask them to add a message about it and a link.
That would be great. Thank you.
Daisy, when is the last day, or when does school wrap up at Warren?
Seniors finish this Friday, and then yeah, everyone else finishes next week. But AP testing doesn't finish for another 2 weeks. So I'm still going to be getting emails from my teachers.
Sure. Okay, so people will still be checking email. I mean, hopefully we'll try to get it before at least the rest of the students wrap up next week.
Sounds good. Next agenda item, Greenest Cities update.
Sure.
Who has that update?
Yeah, so it just kind of ties in a little bit to the last topic. So we did approve the Greenest Region ordinance. So now we're going to be working with Edith and their crew over at the Mayor's Caucus. So there's nothing really to update for that. That's just kind of what will be the next step. We'll use the survey data to kind of go through that. So I've been kind of looking at the actual metrics, and there's something like 150 questions that we have to answer of kind of our own survey of, you know, do we do this? Do we do that? So hopefully a combination of the data of the survey and then us all kind of working together, we can kind of, whether we divide and conquer or however we want to do that, or do a workshop where we know it'll take a few hours, we can get that knocked out and then start to participate in the program.
Okay, sounds good. when you said 150 questions, I thought, oh, there's a good reason to expand the committee.
So yeah, that's all I have with it. Not a lot to update on that one.
Okay. Any other environmental topics? We have recycling down there, and Tom, I got to thank you for at the last meeting keeping that focused. That guy could talk about recycling forever. The Swalco guy, and it was very educational, but you could just sense that he wouldn't stop as long as we kept showing some interest. But
He was definitely
that was really nice to have him on.
Very
Yep,
passionate.
and that's what we need in that position. So that was very good. Shelley, I hate to be a tattletale, but I think, Jack, you said you just got something from that came associated with from app that had a little bit of styrofoam associated with it.
Oh, I've got styrofoam. I got styrofoam. And I see it's kind of fallen off the agenda, but I will not give up. I've been looking. I was doing a little bit of research in McHenry County. I know that the village doesn't have the resources to pay for processing and things like that, but they have a program in there, and I'm trying to learn some more. It's volunteer. And the volunteers sort the stuff. I'm trying to find out where they take it, whether it has to be compacted like you had said, and how they do that. And so I'm still on it,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and I'm not interested in it. I just did take it off just for now. I just don't think that there's the hardest thing. I don't think is much the sorting. I'm concerned about how to get rid of it, besides just throwing it out. To be honest, just because when we get it, it's then what do we do from there?
Right, and I found some places in Illinois. I haven't called them yet, like in Aurora, that says they take it. They don't pay you for it. They take it. So I don't know in what condition they would take it or how it works, but hopefully by next meeting, maybe I'll have some more information on that.
Okay. And as our Swelco expert said, it really comes down to economics. If there's no market for the recycled material, it's going to wind up in landfill, and that's just the way it is. But I don't know if you saw the little news clippings I sent out. That was really encouraging. A lot of recycled materials, the recycle value's been going up. And so that's, things like corrugated cardboard and paper and aluminum and steel. So that's really good. And I think part of that, it might be wishful thinking, but I think part of that is that the recycling processes are getting to be more efficient. And so once they get the material, they're able to get it into a form that can be reused. So there's, some bright light there on the horizon.
And I also would like to maybe approach our state rep, Joyce Mason, we talked about possible legislation or something up to the effect of that the creators of the packaging have to be, or whatever, somewhat responsible for its recycling or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the extended product liability concept. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things I found that was interesting in the research of it, I didn't even know this, that Best Buy now recycles electronics here in Gurnee. So you can bring, you don't have to have purchased it there, but you can bring, I think, up to like 5 items per day to Best Buy and recycle it there instead of the Swalco site. Now the Swalco site's great, but they're a lot of times completely overwhelmed. So knowing that the industry stepped up and is doing some of it is a good thing too. So I was hoping to see if that would be the other thing that I'm hoping is if Best Buy does some sort of corporate styrofoam recycling, that would be a great opportunity if they do.
Yeah. I must say, and Shelley, I credit you, I've gotten very sensitive to this now. On the last garbage day, as I was driving around, I saw someone had put out an old tire and an old CRT TV, and it's like, these are forbidden. They're not going to take them. You've got to handle them differently. So.
As far as Best Buy, is that something, I mean, I just don't know where, I mean, I don't have any authority, but where I would reach out and ask somebody that, or should that come from you, Jack?
No, I think if you'd be interested and you wanted to reach out to see if they did it, I was looking, it didn't look like they did any other stores, so I don't know if they would want to break from that. But if they already have, you never know, maybe they already are looking at a program or looking to pilot something. So I mean, as a member of the Environmental Sustainability Committee, I think you could approach it that way if you're interested.
Okay, well, I'll see what I can get done by the next meeting.
Yeah, that'd be great. And feel free to make unsubstantiated promises. Like, boy, if they do something innovative, we'll do our best to see that they're recognized for that. And that's that's important to our commercial operations. They value that. Sounds good. Anyone have anything else they want to bring up today? We're getting towards the end of the prepared agenda.
I wanted to go back to like adding garbage cans on like trails or whatever, because I remember last time or the time before that, I mentioned now when I was cleaning the Comet Trail, I believe it was, there was a lot of like bags of dog poop. So I think it would be beneficial to add garbage cans on those trails.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good one too. I'll check with our Public Works Department and just see what their, I'm not certain what there is. I know there are some garbage cans out there, usually at the trailheads. So like right at, like I think there's one on Almond, and then some of the others, I think there's one on Hunt Club. But how far they have them and where they have them and how they service them, some information I'll gather.
What's the Gurnee Mills or the is it PetSmart that's there at Hunt Club in Grand? Boy, I could really see them sponsoring, just some little pet waste stations that have the bags and a trash container and a sign saying provided by PetSmart. Boy, that would be worth giving them a call, get them some nice publicity, encourage people to have their dogs around. Huh.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, that's the biggest trick is the servicing of it. I mean, because we, getting stuff isn't too bad, but yeah, just find someone that's, and having manpower too.
Yeah.
Our public works, that is one of the things. We are smaller in that regard. And so I know that's part of our, why we do a lot of times rely on like volunteers to do trail cleanup, because we have these trails, but to maintain them, it just is difficult compared to streets and other life safety things that are the higher priority.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good question. I need to ask the last time, Betsy, so I'll follow up too and see if I can't get any information on it.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything else?
Nope, the other thing I had, just kind of an update too. So after we talked about recycling promotion, that is something that for our upcoming June newsletter that we'll be putting out, it'll be kind of our summer newsletter that goes out to all residents. We're going to do kind of a little bit of a focus in it on recycling right and how to do that. So Swalco has a really good resource on their website that I think a lot of people don't know is out there. So we're going to make a big push of it. The only reason we haven't done a push recently is they've been going through like some sort of bugs, so it's not loading correctly right now. But once it's back up and running, they indicated that it should be pretty soon. We're going to be publishing it out there everywhere, just so people know, because that's one thing that when we talk, and I talk to Peter, the hardest challenge the recycling industry faces right now is contamination, and that people are putting things they shouldn't be in there, and that can ruin an entire load. So if you do a great job recycling, it might not even matter if one of your neighbors is hiding dirt or other items that'll contaminate the whole load.
My neighbor is. I
Yeah.
could turn them in now.
So I think education is a big part of it. And that's one thing
Okay.
Swalco's been interested in too, is they were looking previously to see if we had volunteers or some sort of interest in doing like a cart tagging program. And so that's essentially where somebody goes around and looks at recycling carts and puts a little tag on it, like a warning. And we've given authority to have waste management do that if there's no fine or penalty right away. And so sometimes people will get a sticker from waste management saying, hey, there's contamination in your, in your recycling bin. But just an opportunity for further information and education too, as people
Right.
do that they know what to do in the future.
Do you think that's a thing to open up to volunteers if you put it out there? I mean, if they were all trained by Swalco? I put my
Recycling
cape on.
vigilante.
So,
Recycling vigilantes. I don't know about that, but Jack, for the newsletter, yeah, Swalco's definitely should be the lead. But should we ask Waste Management to add their 2 cents? Or
Yeah, I can reach out and just see kind of what they, what information, because they do provide the flyer that was used and a lot of stuff, but a lot of times it's just outdated compared to what Swalco has. Swalco has just a little bit better information, but I'll reach out to our rep as well.
Yeah. And for a graphic, I really think the idea of Shelley with her cape and a handful of stickers, "Don't let this happen to you,"
that's right.
would be effective.
There'll be a target on my back.
Yeah, well, that's why we'd want to make sure, however we did it. I know they did a pilot program out in Round Lake Beach. So Swalco actually did it. They had an AmeriCorps volunteer or a employee essentially that was stationed with them for about a year, and they did a pilot program out there. So I think I'll check with them and just see kind of what they did, how do they do it, just because obviously, yeah, we don't want you digging in people's recycling cans and having them concerned. So just make sure that we're doing it and everyone's safe and legal.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Any last thoughts? Yeah.
Branch into that.
Sounds good. Any last thoughts for today? Okay, well then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. We are done for today. Tom, thank you for your service to the committee and your continued service to the village.
Yeah, I really
Shelley?
hope you guys go strong. I just I think it's a great area. I'm really looking forward to the Greenest Cities portion. I think that'll be a great resource that'll help us. So looking forward to what comes from you guys.
Great.
We will try
Okay,
not to shock you.
Well, I was just going to say, Shelley, if you can send the photo of you in costume with the cape, we should probably have that screened before that goes live.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bye.